Good morning, everyone. Today's Thursday, March the 21st. It occurred to me, you know that little sound you hear on the back? That's my hard drive. I would like for it not to make that noise, but there it is. That's what you're hearing on that back end. Hey, let's take a look at the charts. We had the Fed come out, said they were not going to adjust their balance sheet. That's a particularly good signal in terms of global slowing. But that's what we've got. Interestingly, we've had these days where we feel these big spikes up and then the deep fade. So when we look at the daily, we've got down days coming into, very interestingly, the level I talked about on Monday, old resistance, new support. That's a bounce zone. And it's likely to send us right back up into relative congestion around 2830 or so. We have to think about the overall bullish patterns and what they might look like, but take a look at this increasing volume. Now, that's a little muddy because so many people came in and then came out, and there's a little bit of rotation there that just gave us a lot of noise. So what we have to see is, how well do we hold above this level? All right, my thought is ideal bounce zone, old resistance on the week, new high relative to the formation, the pullback on the week, going to find buyers. Tweeted that out this morning. Now we're going to look at the stair-step action into 28.25 and then 28.32. If it holds, I'll be surprised. But market surprises me all the time. My goal is pullbacks, deep pullbacks, or buy zones, and sharp spikes to the outside are going to be sell zones. Same thing in the NQ. It's a little bit stronger. The flight to technology with the Fed saying, hey, listen, financials aren't going to have that much fun in the next little bit. That's put financials under quite a bit of pressure. Look at this auction vacuum that we're filling in. Pullbacks or buy zones. Those buy zones are going to lead into resistance, which will give us selling pressure. So we watch these areas around 73.60 to potentially hold and 74.40 to potentially fade. YM, probably going to have a fairly decent bounce off of these levels. Notice this is the prior zone, 630, bouncing to the upside, flat moving average, and a little bit of negative divergence says that we should not break up and over these zones, but simply come into resistance. New information says that the pilot for the Ethiopian airline had never trained on that particular machine. And so that's probably going to give Boeing a little extra kick moving forward. We'll see how that goes. It's certainly going to affect the YM in general. Oil stalling out at this 60-30 area, which we talked about, but still holding frontline support. So what's this telling us? Yeah, pullbacks or buy zones. To short here without getting out very quickly, little bit of a fool's errand, because we could have the next area where we have any more than two candlesticks jamming into each other really is all the way up here at 61.72. Now, do I think we get there? No, but I'm not going to trade against the trend here. Oil will punch me in the face with some Hulk fists. So not going to be looking for that. However, I'm also not going to be buying these highs. We've got significant technical divergence, so it tells me look for prior congestion levels so that I know pullbacks that'll give me buy zones, and that will allow me to move forward. Hey, I've given an analysis for everything that I think ought to happen. Here's what I look at. If it breaks my resistance area, I want to see it come back, hold the resistance, and then it's long intraday. Same thing for support. If it breaks the support, I want to watch it pull back, bounce, and then fail the support zone before I take the short. That's going to be true across the board. Take a look at this beast. The news from the Fed essentially says, I'm going to put a little tamper on the rise of the dollar. That's going to send bullish action here. This is our resistance zone. It broke it, but it has not held. What do we know? Pullbacks or buy zones. Do we have neutral direction here? Yes, so I suspect we sit in this little bit of range. My moving averages are still flat. Any big motion to the upside, I expect the fade. All right, good luck trading today.